I'm going to talk very quickly about two other kinds of tapes, which are not, it's not the formulation of the tape, which formulation is a technical word for what kind of tape is in the actual case. So cassette singles. Cassette singles would often come in very different packaging. You can be absolutely sure that something is a single or short EP, not like with records based on the smaller size of the actual record, but because it is in a cardboard sleeve. So unlike jewel cases, it's a little tight, but cassette comes out of
okay.
That is, and so that's how you know if it's a single. Cassette singles usually, there are some that are very valuable. Most of them are not very valuable just because if, you know, they just don't have that much music on them, and you can probably, there are definitely some cassette singles that have exclusive stuff on them, but it was usually exclusive stuff would be on the CD version because you'd have to pay a lot more for the CD and they're trying to get you to buy it back then. And so the second kind of cassette, and I'm just going to have to use this one as a broad example because there's some common attributes across the board, but they're not, this is where stuff gets a little more complicated. So, so let's take these two cassettes. So these are both what you would call promos. Because they were sent to either radio stations, stores, somewhere where the album needed to be promoted.
Okay.
Very often, these will be on type 2 tape, while the actual commercial release will be on type 1 tape.
Oh, interesting.
And very, very infrequently, it will have the normal cover art. So like this one just looks like, this is from Spain, so there's a few little detail, and I guess I could get into how to do international identification. Really, it just comes down to like somewhere on the J card, it's going to say manufactured in the United States, Canada, Europe, or something, and that tells you where the tape is from. And in Spain and a few other European countries, they don't capitalize the full title. So you notice like an American version, that would be Blood on the Tracks in all caps. And this one, we only know that it's a promo because it says, let's see, it says Promocional Prohibida su venta, which is just, you know, the same thing on US cassettes or anything that's a promo, you know, promotional, not for resale, but in Spanish.
Okay.
Most promo cassettes look like this. Very frequently, they're going to be, they look like this. Very frequently, or maybe not very, very frequently, they would be sent before the cover art was finalized. Sometimes, in very rare occasions, they would be sent before the album was finalized. And I think we were going to do a short Anominy on a tape I found like that some point in the future. That was in the same package as this one. But yeah, so you got white piece of paper, print. There's going to be a phone number on the back for how to contact the record label or something.
Okay.
There's going to be some contact info that would not be on a commercial release. These are going to be, so this is from 1989, and you notice it has a sticker label. So It kind of breaks the rule I was saying. These are much more likely to have sticker labels.
Gotcha.
So like anything where, anything where they're not printing enough copies to make it financially feasible to print on plastic, because printing on plastic is much more expensive than printing on paper, generally speaking.
Okay. Without knowing anything about it, that sounds right.
Yeah. And you can see like the phone number for Creation Records is directly on this cassette.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
I think let me take a very quick look Oh, and I guess one last thing with cassettes. So let me grab a sealed cassette. So if you're buying, I've been buying a fair number of sealed cassettes recently. I think they're probably getting snapped up. We're still at the point where there's like overage, where they printed too much and stuff's coming to light. But I think that's going to end fairly soon because tapes haven't been in mass production for a pretty long time now. So when you're buying a sealed cassette, very frequently used stores, to keep people from just taking the cassette out of the case and then walking off with it and just leaving the case there, they would reseal them. So there's a substantial chance, if you're buying a sealed cassette out in the wild, that it may have been resealed at some point.
Oh, I see.
Isn't actually new. The best way to tell if the cassette is actually new are things like price stickers.
Okay.
So here's a sealed first pressing copy of Exile in Guyville by Liz Phair. It sold originally for $10. I know that because of this sticker, which is from a now out of business record store.
Which one?
Sound Warehouse.
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
Okay, yeah. And so oh no, it says 4 for $9.99. So this was on clearance.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay, that had to been a what do you call it? So it was in the bargain bin.
yeah, that's probably why I got it, because the guy I bought it from, I bought like, we did a short video on this, but I bought like 40, 50 sealed cassettes from this guy. I'm guessing that he either was the guy who owned Sound Warehouse, or he somehow, like, his dad inherited Sound Warehouse and he ended up with all these unsold tapes.
Okay.
Because it's pretty rare, like, even though this is maybe 1995, it's pretty uncommon to find. It's more common to find a sealed cassette than a record, just because a cassette was a lot cheaper.
Uh-huh.
So there's more likelihood you'd like buy it and go home and forget it. Another thing that's great to identify is, not all of them are going to have this, but if it has that black stripe, pretty much all reseal, no reseal I've ever seen is going to have that black stripe down it. And then also, just, this was like the store inventory code sticker. There are also occasionally, or actually pretty frequently, what are called hype stickers, and that might be the absolute best way to verify if the thing is actually like a legit sealed tape. Let me put this back in its little bag. You can also get like little comic baggies for these things. I just figured that out a week ago. They're pretty cool. I can't remember where I got them. If I figure it out, I'll put a link in the description.
Okay.
Anyway, so hype stickers. Okay, this one has a hype sticker. So you see that black sticker that says bonus tracks?
Yep.
That is not on the J card. That is a sticker.
Okay.
That is on the outside. Maybe if I take it out of here quick, you can kind of tell, like, if you're feeling it in person, you can feel like there's a little bump. You know it's a sticker. It's not on the actual artwork.
Yeah.
And those are extremely difficult to fake. And most audio cassettes are not worth the money it would take to fake a hype sticker. So
they likely didn't repackage it and then add a sticker to it.
Right, or actually another good tell is sometimes they do add a sticker, but if it looks like it's a sticker that says like 3 for $9.99 at blah blah blah's discount warehouse,
yeah,
it's probably resealed.
Okay.
And I think that's everything.
Cool, that was awesome. Hey, I learned something. I learned several things. Now I just wish I still had all those cassette tapes I got rid of some years ago. I kept them around for a very long time, and then finally, when we went through all the stuff in my basement and cleared stuff out, and that's when I got rid of 900 out of 1,000 books. I also got rid of all my cassette tapes. And they're all in a landfill somewhere.
Yeah,
and they could have been worth something.
And I guess, like, one last thing to say about audio cassettes is that they don't have the dynamic frequency range of records. but they're also much, much, much less susceptible to wear than records.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think of a good, like an album from 1970, you get the cassette version and you get a beat up record.
Uh-huh.
The cassette's probably still going to sound better because it's
Oh,
still
okay.
like analog transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain cases before, like in the late 80s, I'm kind of thinking of like two good examples would be Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys, and Sly and the Family Stone, There's a Riot Going On.
Mm.
Those sound better on cassette than on CD because the mastering was done right.
Okay.
And that's a thing to consider if you're looking for like audiophile quality recordings of things, is that format is important. You know, you're always like an LP is always going to sound better than a 78, but there's a lot of other factors that go into whether the thing's going to sound any good or not. And sometimes a cassette can sound better than a CD or a record, depending on if the, you know, what factors happen between the record being delivered and the plant manufacturing the thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right.
Yep. And so if you like this, hit like, hit subscribe. If there's some interest in this, I can do this for we could do this for records. We could do this for DVDs, VHS. If there's a format, I mean, I'm not an expert on literally everything, but you know, if there's a media format you want me to give a basic overview of collecting and identification, leave it in the comments. And till next time, be
And
kind.
as some of you listeners out there know, we actually do read the comments because we occasionally even respond.
Yeah, we're I don't take my popularity for granted. So yeah, we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.